Just in the nick of time, we have had some of, if not the best, Star Wars game news that we have had in a long time. Now, I reported in my last video, which you should check out if you haven't already, I reported that a KOTOR remake was going to be on the way, and I gave all my reasons as to why it would be a thing, as well as possibly when it could be coming out. Lo and behold, not even 2 hours after I posted that video discussing that, a PlayStation Showcase event went and confirmed something pretty incredible. They dropped a small trailer for a KOTOR remake. So it is official, the Knights of the Old Republic remake that has been rumored about for a long time, it is happening, and you know, it had plenty of skeptics along the way, but it is nice to say that it is officially confirmed. Now, there are some minor details that went alongside the confirmation that tell us a little bit more about the game and what changes will be made, all of which I will be getting to throughout this video, and there's some pretty cool details about the game that you're definitely going to want to hear. And we'll of course go over what we see in the trailer, and I'll weigh in my overall thoughts on the entire situation, as there is one massive problem that is really affecting a lot of people with regards to this game. So I will be touching on that as well, as it did catch me off guard too. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button below, as I will be following this game very closely, as well as all other Star Wars games. And if you're looking to pick yourself up some G Fuel, go through the link below and use code Aussie. But with the shameless promo out the way, let's get into it. So PlayStation had a showcase event in which they showcased a ton of new and upcoming games, and they killed it. They confirmed Spider-Man 2, a Wolverine game, the new God of War game, and if that wasn't enough, they threw the official announcement of the Knights of the Old Republic remake in there as well. They had one hell of a showcase. So they dropped this minute-long brief trailer. Now, it doesn't do a whole lot, but it does enough, as people seem to have gone into a frenzy over this, and it's not hard to tell why. As you can see, we've got our boy Revan in the trailer igniting his lightsaber with some voiceover. Now, it's not gameplay or anything like that, it's just a small cinematic trailer, but it's obviously super exciting regardless. I've watched it like over 20 times, even though there isn't really much going on. Now let's talk details. There is one big issue with this game, and that is it's going to be a PS5 exclusive at launch. Now I'm seeing a lot of people say that it might come to like PC in due time. I don't think so, and this does pose problems. It's exclusive to PS5, and that's not just hard for people who are, you know, Team Xbox or Team PC or whatever, but next gen PS5s are kind of hard to get your hands on depending on where you are. So although the hype for this game is insanely high for Star Wars fans both young and old, this does create a bit of a dilemma for a lot of people, and I stand by this. I don't like when games like this go exclusive. Star Wars has had such a broad audience across all platforms for decades, so to close it off to one platform, I just don't like that at all. Having said that, I will be doing unspeakable things to get my hands on a PS5 purely just for this game, and I kind of needed an excuse to get a PS5 anyway, so there we go. Now, hopefully for everyone's sake, by the time this game actually comes out, getting your hands on a PS5 won't be as much of a problem as it is now. Now that brings us on to the next topic, and the golden question that we all want to know. When is this game coming out? 2022, 2023, what's the deal? Well, we don't get any release date confirmations along with this trailer, but we can put a rough idea together based on the game's development stage. Now, IGN sat down with Orion Kellogg, the executive producer at Lucasfilm Games, and Ryan Treadwell, the lead producer at ASPYR Media, who are the ones bringing the game to life. And they went on to say, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake is a tremendous undertaking encompassing almost every aspect of the original game. We're still early in development, but we're happy to finally have announced the remake and hear the PlayStation community's thoughts on what you're excited to see. So they said it pretty straight up, they're still in early development. Now, the rumors around this game were swelling strong well over 6 months ago, so I think we can put a big red line through 2021 for a potential release date. There is just zero shot of that happening. And maybe 2022 as well. If we're lucky, maybe a late 2022 launch could be possible, but I think they'll probably drop their official trailer next year at whatever game events take place, like E3, Gamescom, you get the idea. And then possibly release the game really late next year, or more than likely sometime in 2023. It is a long time, but keep in mind the way things are shaping up, we're going to get a lot of Star Wars games between 2022 and 2024, so we're going to be spoiled for choice at some point. Just 2021 is not the savior that we thought it was going to be. Now, as for the game details, is it going to be a shot-for-shot remake? Is it going to be a glorified remaster, an entirely new thing? Well, we do actually get some clues to that as well. Kellogg and Treadwell did say that the team is taking its time to balance the weight of fan expectation, authenticity to the original, as well as any necessary changes or updates. So that in itself says pretty clear that some things will probably be a little bit different, but they aren't going to stray too far. But they doubled down on this, saying, we're just going to be able to do more things with asset variety and fidelity and storytelling that just weren't possible then, but are still going to meet the same goals. So this is really reassuring to hear. The original KOTOR is a masterpiece, so it's kind of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it seems like ASPYR and Lucasfilm Games understand that KOTOR is amazing as it is, and from what we can gather here, they want to keep it as faithful as possible and not stray too far off from what made the original game so great, but just at the same time take advantage where possible where the new technology of next-gen consoles, or in this case console, by just doing stuff that BioWare just simply could not do back in the early 2000s. So I think the success of this game is going to be determined on how well it balances not screwing up what made the original so great, and dressing it up in a nice, modern, clean, highly detailed graphics and gameplay of the current day. If they strike that balance, then we could be on for one of the best Star Wars games ever. Like, we know the material is already S tier, but bringing that to the modern gaming scene with new ingenuity, new graphics is going to be amazing. Like, I love KOTOR, I really do, but going back and playing it now, the gameplay is dog water. Like, I hate to say it because it's a masterpiece, and I know the nostalgia boner is going to hit absolutely everyone because I've said this. But in terms of gameplay, the game did not age well at all. So if they were going to remake an original Star Wars classic, I'm glad that they picked this one. And as for the actors coming back, all it says here is they did actually get Jennifer Hale returning to voice Bastila, which is awesome. It doesn't say anything else about other actors returning, but they do confirm that they do have many developers with experience on big remakes. And they've actually got a ton of the original KOTOR developers working on this game, which is honestly like some of the best news out of this entire thing. Just, it reaffirms to me that this game is in really safe hands. I mean, these guys literally made this game what it was nearly 20 years ago, and they get to return to it after all this time, and they get to modernize it. That's pretty awesome to see, and I just cannot wait for this game. But now I want to turn it over to you guys. What do you all think of this amazing news? I know the PS5 exclusive thing is going to be a bit of a bump in the road for a lot of people, but I think we can all agree, regardless of exclusivity, that it's great to see the Old Republic getting some serious attention. And this game is a perfect bridge into the next era of Star Wars games under Lucasfilm Games, as games like Star Wars Hunters just are not cutting the interest levels for a lot of people, myself included. I actually made a tweet regarding the lack of interest in current Star Wars game news in light of some of Star Wars Hunters' new reveals. But then the KOTOR news happened like 20 minutes after that and made me retract the statement real quick. So this is a huge breath of fresh air in what has been, apart from January, just a terrible year for Star Wars games. 2020 sucked, 2021 sucked just a little bit less. But man, 2022 and beyond is shaping up to be something really special for us Star Wars fans. But that is going to pretty much do it for me today in this video. Some amazing Star Wars game news for once. Now, if there are any other significant details that come out in the wake of this news, rest assured I will be covering it. But in the meantime, if you go to the top right corner of this video, you can check out my video on every other upcoming Star Wars game from now to 2024. And of course, drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for all Star Wars game content, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.